Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about this book. This book is called Envisioning Holograms. Yeah, I think this book is pretty cool and it talks about what like a mixed reality is. And today we are going to talk about the first chapter. Okay, so I wrote all my notes in my blog called Medium. Yeah, if you wanna, you can click the link and then go to my blog and take a look about like the notes or summary. Because I find out this is much easier, and then it looks beautiful and it's online and it's not like a PDF on Google Drive. So yeah, and everything is on my blog and I just want to make everything easier. Yeah, so yeah, you can check out my blog or follow me. Yeah, so yeah, let's dive into this book. Okay, this book is written by Ian Pell. I think his name is Mike. I don't know, but the name of the author is Ian Pell. Yeah. Okay, so if you want to buy the book or take a look about the book, there's a link under the big picture, like the title picture. So, yeah, so let's talk about holograms. What's holograms? Holograms is mixed reality and Microsoft HoloLens, first introduced back in 2015. And I remember I joined the kind of like a Permian or like some intro events for Microsoft HoloLens a few years ago. And I find out that it's so fun because like first time I saw that big, like the HoloLens. But I remember there were like two crows, kind of like like a position or like kind of like a device which track your what should I say? It's similar to Sixth Sense. It's the sensor which detects your normal position with the reality position. So basically what HoloLens do is to scan. It's like there is a camera. I don't know how many camera it is, but there's camera in the front, and then it scans the room, and then calculating and I don't know how the data transfer, but it transferred to the cloud and back to your eyes. So basically, it's real-time rendering, and it will detect the whole room first. So it will scan, 3D scan the whole room and upload to the cloud somewhere, and then come back. It's like a real time, so the computer must be really, really good in order for those like super sophisticated rendering. So when HoloLens knows the whole room real time, and then it will put the character or whatever monster or some stuff that creator made into your real space. For example, like I have a sofa over there, I have a coffee table behind my back, and you can see like in my notes, fragments. Fragments is kind of like a startup by Microsoft. Yeah, so it's a game. It's a like a crime scene. So adventure games, and the game is like when you wear Microsoft HoloLens first, and then it will kind of scan your room, and then make sure the computer knows like where everything is. So in real time, and it will put the real crime scene inside your room. So for example, like there's a ladder and like inside like the game, and then when HoloLens scanned, oh, there's a sofa. behind, there's a space behind sofa. So HoloLens will detect it and then put the layer behind the sofa, my real sofa. So the way it works is that it detects your environment first, and then real-time rendering, and then put the characters according to your real environment and interact with your environment. Yeah, that sounds a little crazy, but it is the way it is. So I remember when I first joined the event back, I think 2016, I forgot. Yeah, somewhere there. So I remember first time when I wear the HoloLens, I feel like, oh, it's so heavy. And it has heat because imagine you are wearing the whole entire PC, super power PC computer here. Yeah, because it needs to scan your room and make it 3D module and upload to the somewhere sky, cloud, whatever, somewhere, and then go back to your computer and make adjustable for your eyes. For example, I remember during that time I had a question, like, because it's all in front of your eyes, and how can you do it? And they said that it's like a optical, some weird calculation inside that lens, so you will see things like it's in the reality rather than in front of your eyes. Because I find out that, damn, there's no projections in real world. It's just through the lens. How my eyes can adjust, because if it is flat on the glass, then my eye might feel like, oh, it's so uncomfortable because the screen is so close to my eyes. But it's actually projecting to the world, but the projection is actually inside the glass, which is amazing. So I still couldn't figure out how they made it, but they made it. So it's like some genius, they work for Microsoft that made it. So yeah, I mean, as a designer, we can just enjoy the convenience of this great technology without trying to figure out how they made it. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's great. So in Fragments, it's an adventure game published by Microsoft. Experience compelling new possibility for storytelling and gameplay, while life-size characters are aware of your presence. For example, you just walk to them, they probably will walk back. It's like a normal human interaction, because it's live streaming, like scanning all your environment inside a big computer, and real projection project to the real world, and your eye can see through the glass, and there's no projection in this environment. It's just the screen. Yeah, so it's so amazing. Yeah, it's really, really amazing. When I first went to the event, I remember I asked a lot of questions, and I still don't get it because I'm not an engineer, and I was just thinking about how I see things is projecting in real world, but actually it's just inside a screen. But how can my eyes adjust those closer light projection on the screen onto the real world? Because our eyes can focus on something far away, something close to us, but actually the projection is, I don't know how it made, but I assume it's on the glass. And then when I see through it, I don't know why my brain told me that it's in reality. So yeah, so I don't know how it tricks or fool my eyes. Yeah, it's just very amazing. And I play a game, and I remember first time wear Microsoft HoloLens. I wear it. It was really, really heavy. Yeah, and I have a small nose, so it's kind of keep falling down. Yeah, for some reason, and you need to adjust. There's a I don't know, some weird device which you can like kind of like adjust your head, and I kind of adjusted, and then first it will scan the room first. Like, oh, I know there's a wall, or there's a sofa, there's a table, there's a computer, there's a chair. And then it detects the whole environment first. And second, I saw the monster just comes out, just like a sponging through the wall. They just came out through the wall. And then I need to use my controller and attack them. So it's so real because the computer knows where your environment is, and it puts like the 3D characters or 3D monsters to interact with you, and they know exactly where you are, which is a little scary. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And main HoloLens features is adapts to the room size. Yeah, it's cool because it knows where you are, and it also tracks a little bit of your position, but you cannot run, like don't run too fast because like computer cannot like render that fast. But I believe in the future that the computer will be like better, lighter, and faster. Yeah. And the room solver AI. Yeah, I always think that how do you know there's a wall? And you know the name is wall, and you know the definition is wall, and you know the table. They know they can put stuff on the table. They know they can put stuff on the chair. Yeah, so it requires some AI technique. Yeah, AI means something smart. Yeah, I think. Yeah, and world-aware characters. It's so cool that so it can trigger your real emotion because the characters knows where you are when something interact with you. It's not like just AR, like a talk on its own, but HoloLens mixed reality really aware where you are, what your environment is, and even the sound is kind of like a mimic or like integrate your environment. Yeah, so yeah, the sound, it's like everything is aware. Not only they have its own story inside mixed reality, but also it integrate with your real environment. So that's why you feel like this is so real. But the contradiction part of this is like, as for a hologram, it's like a magic, right? And it awares of you, but actually it's not alive. It's computer. It knows that you are there, so or like there's a coffee table there, so they can put some hints under the coffee table. It awares of your environment, but it's not alive. It's not like a rabbit or a dog. It's not real. And it can kind of like sense you, but actually is not real. And it seems real, but you cannot touch. It seems like an illusion mixed with reality. Like, yeah, like a little crazy imagination world. So, and it's responsive. So, for example, if I react to it, and the holograms will react to me. So it's kind of like, are you real or are you not real? But you look real. But like, are you not real? But you are real. Something like a little confusing about, because we assume that computer is like, oh, when I enter something, computer will follow my will and enter something back. So they don't have spirit. They don't have like a personality, or they don't think like human. We sense a lot. But as for holograms, it seems like it seems like holograms has life. It coexists in the space with you, and it knows you. and it will react or respond according to your reaction. So it can arouse your personal emotion. For example, like if you play fragments, like the game that published by Microsoft, it's a game crime, like a game. So it's a crime scene. So for example, you need to figure out who killed somebody, and then the detective, the criminal, and you will see like the entire story just inside your living room, which is amazing because virtual reality is more like immerse you into another world. But mixed reality is actually inside your reality and it interact with you. Yeah, it's that amazing. Yeah. So emotional storytelling because it coexists inside the same space as you, and it responds according to your reaction. So it seems like a holograms has a life, like ghosty life has its own wheel. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And so because it coexists with us, we feel like kind of like oh, you are real. So we have like a more emotional compared to like 2D flat screen like AR. You feel like, oh, I'm shooting, but it's still like in the screen. Like you still can interact in the screen, but as for mixed reality, is actually physically inside your space, and the computer just receive the information around your area, around your whole space, scan to your through the camera. It scans and then upload to the cloud and come back and project all the stuff, all the illusions, 3D illusions. So it's really, really cool. And imagine the computer must be really, really powerful. Okay, so manageable immersion. Like a virtual reality experience that immerses you in a digital world. Mixed reality keeps you anchored to the real world by blending holograms in with the physical objects you naturally see around you. And VR, it's like, oh, I am in another world, but mixed reality is that the augmented object, 3D object inside your real world. And some people might feel like, motion sickness inside virtual reality world, the VR world. Because due to the eye and the brain tell different information to your body, so that's why you got sick. But since mixed reality is the actual holograms inside the reality, so you don't feel any sick. So mixed reality gives more freedom, gives more like a comfortable level to people. So yeah, and then let's talk about Microsoft HoloLens. Microsoft HoloLens introduced back in 2015. It has the ability to see lifelike 3D holograms. The first holographic computing device ran on a custom holographic processing unit (HPU) chipset. Yeah, that's and like a super genius device which can including like a Wi-Fi connectivity, built-in special sound, and a rechargeable battery. Yeah, so yeah, and actually it's really happy. Yeah, and then okay, so let's talk about Magic Leap. I think 3 days ago, I don't know how many days ago, like a few days ago, Magic Leap introducing Magic Leap 1. The Magic Leap 1, it's called Lightwear. Yeah, Magic Leap 1 has Lightwear. Actually, it has a super, like a rounded, like this pocket rounded computer. You see, like computer, it becomes a circle. It like a super small, like my hand size small computer, and you can put inside your pocket. Yeah, and then you wear that gargle. Looks a little sci-fi movie, like we're AI robot, and then it will scan the whole environment similar to Microsoft HoloLens, and then kind of like it's kind of using light field display, so and augmented reality headset. So it's kind of like computing everything, and you can kind of it's like when you walk around the room, it starts scanning like all your room's information, and then start putting like all the characters inside your room. So it's really really cool, and it has a super cool controller, and it's just like it's one touching pad. Yeah, I mean, like I think user experience or UI will be applied to those high technology. And like before iPhone was introduced, we don't even know, oh, I need to swipe, scroll down inside. Like there are so many like technology professional term inside that little small iPhone device. But in the future, if everyone wears a Microsoft HoloLens or the Magic Leap one, for example, then maybe there's a weird gestures will be invented, and all the designers, UX UI designers, will design or will come up with another theory about user experience design, another new principles or another new thinking, new thoughts about the new era for tailors for those high-tech device. So for me, it's as a designer, we need to constantly learning like a new technology, so our design can tailor or can apply, and we need to try new things. So when we start doing like or helping like those technology design a better user experience device or a storytelling or whatever app it is, we can make a better software tailored to those high-tech software or hardware. So it's pretty cool that it's still like experimental. So I feel like when everything seems like in the future that it will go really big, but right now it's just like slowly building up. I feel like it's cool. We need to start knowing what's going on in that field, so we can start like improve ourselves in that direction. So in the future we just like hop in and create some super cool stuff. Slowly we will get there. So just learn it, accept it, and just expose yourself into those great creation. So the third one is Apple AR Kit, introduced back in 2017, and finally Apple has like an AR or VR platform. So I feel like when I bought Apple, I feel good because like, oh, it looks so cool, and I like those like easy use like a experience. However, I love AR, VR, and like a 3D or stuff. Like I just start exploring, but I find out that my small little Mac couldn't really do anything. I couldn't explore those like a high tech or gimmicky part with Mac. But right now, Apple started to integrate like their AR kit, so I feel good. It's good. So it integrate with the device camera, sensors, and custom software to match integrate those AR objects, make it look like those objects is in real world, but on your iPad. So you still need to see everything limited to the super small screen. It's not like a HoloLens or like the Magic Leap one. It's like you can just look through your environment, and it will respond to you and interact with you. It's a little different, yeah. So the key innovations for HoloLens or mixed reality is first is optics. It's a light. Through the remarkable process of projecting light into your line of sight in real time. Yeah, how can this be possible, right? It can scan it, receive, uploading, come back, and then projecting in real time, like less than a second. Yeah, how powerful the computer is, right? So in real time, advanced hardware and software render holograms in such a way that our eyes treat them the same as any object we see normally. That's crazy, right? So you need to scan the room, upload, come back, and then project, and then same as you receive the light from the reality. That's really, really high tech. Yeah, really crazy. Yeah. Second is the sensors and cameras. A hologram's nature environment is a real-world space that we inhabit, not confined of a flat screen, not like Apple ARKit. It's the real world. That means the device and operating system need to create a powerful holograms require collections of sensors and sophisticated software to scan physical spaces in real time to orient the holograms properly. Yeah, so you need to have a good sensors, good cameras on your goggle, so it can kind of receive and projecting in the real time, and for you to feel the immersion, for you to immerse yourself in the mixed reality. And the sound is kind of combined, take some samples of your environment and mixed with the holograms. So it's super cool, yeah. And inputs. It means that controlling interaction is made possible by sensors already detecting, like the sensors or controllers can detect your movements, your gesture, and voice command. Yeah, in the future, I believe there will be more and more experience, more samples, more disciplines, more guidelines, or more books or more thoughts will come out. Just or UX UI experience will be more tailored to those high technology. Yeah, and I think that's really exciting to see that our world becoming like more immersive, and the storytelling is becoming more compelling. And yeah, cannot wait to see like what's coming next. And personally, I'm learning Unity right now, and I asked a bunch of people about like if 3D software, what should I learn? And they say, oh, Maya. Okay, so I started to learn things, and I bought a really, really cool PC. And I wish I can doing a little bit and start my videos, kind of force myself to learn a little bit of theories, because I like to jump into something without knowing anything, like a kid, play and kind of absorb and come up with my way. But I find out that if I have the little theories in mind, it can reduce some of my experiment time. And when I talk to people think I'm smart. Yeah, that I mean, like, we don't need to show like we are smart or something. But when people ask you like, oh, what's holograms? You started to list out everything, and it seems like, oh, you know something, right? Because for me, like, if you want me to say holograms before I read this book, I will say, oh, it's like some 3D object somewhere there, looks like ghosts, and it seems like it can talk to you, but I don't know how it happens, and I don't know why everything looks like that. Just wear a goggle. Yeah, I would say that. But when I read a book, it seems like or read some, I would say more like a documentary or textbook like. It seems like a sorting my messy thoughts about something and give me a pretty smart introduction about something. So I think reading those types of book really helps me to know something deeper and better. Yeah. So yeah, this is the episode talking about Envision holograms. Yeah, if you have any questions or any comments, any feedbacks, please leave the message or comments below. Yeah, and I will talk the second part of this book next time. Okay, see you. Bye bye.